Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast episode. Another episode of Cafetalk. I don't know why words elude me as much as they do when I start the episode, but it happens. It happens to the best of us, including myself. I'm a mere human. I put my pants on one leg at a time.
You don't have the Jumblhoj 3000, Jolene, where you just jump into your legs of the pants?
No, because when we first started this channel and I signed a contract I didn't read, and it turns out you take 80% of the revenue.
I don't take 80%, all right? I take 20%, you take another 20%, and then YouTube takes the last 60%.
I have the contract right here, Victor. It says right here, and it says, I, Victor Gutierrez, take 80% of all Jumblhoj's revenue.
Ah, see? But did they use my full name, V. Victor M. Gutierrez L? Because if they didn't, that is YouTube impersonating me. Therefore, we have both been bamboozled, my friend.
Well, I don't know. 80% of like 50 cents is still not enough.
50 cents.
We haven't guessed. I'm here with Victor, as always.
Yeah, hello everybody. How you doing?
And we've been sticking through it. We've been trying to, do the best episodes we can, even though we're all stuck in quarantine.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of hard to talk about things when there's literally nothing going on.
Yeah, I mean, we're not able to leave our houses to get new adventures and experiences, aside from, what's in the media, and the media alone, which is very negative. So, and we want to provide you guys with, an escape from all that. Maybe a little lightheartedness, maybe just up-to-date news of what's going on in the world if you haven't heard enough, or, whatever, just come chill with us.
Well, speaking of which, there is something that we are going to talk about that is in the media. It's a pretty big story that broke out last week.
Ooh, what could that possibly be?
If for those of you who are uninitiated, or for those of you who are just tired of hearing of it, Wall Street Bets.
Oh, yes, I have heard of that.
Yeah, along with like the rise of GameStop stock, AMC, BlackBerry, Nokia, and a couple other stuff. Yeah, Naked. So we have that, and then we're also gonna touch upon like kind of how we hate like this elitist / like bougie attitude in the culinary world.
Yeah, the mindset of them.
So stick around.
It might be interesting. Might get a little spicy, seductive, sabashi. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, but before we start, Victor, is there anything new going on? Anything you want to tell the people? How you doing? Anything new going on? Updating the people.
Oh, yeah, no, just, the usuals. I'm stuck in home like everybody else, but I'm fortunate enough to at least return back to work at the coffee shop. Everything's going well so far. And, thanks to Jolene over here, my shout outs to my main man for letting me borrow his Photoshop account. I'm able to doodle online, and I've been drawing, just feel good stuff like a potato dog, dog that looks like a potato, very round, very fluffy, very cute, and also a very fat cat for some reason. But he's not one of those corporate fat cats. He's just a chunky boy that likes to eat and have a good time with you. Something squeezable, something comforting. What about you, Jolene? What have you been up to?
I think very fat is an understatement. I think you drew like a morbidly obese cat.
Yeah, to be honest, he's like minutes away from death from how fat he is.
Nice, that's a lie. That's a pretty fat cat.
Hey, but I mean, at least those minutes would be the fluffiest, most cuddliest moments of his life and your life.
You right.
What about you, Jolene? What you been up to?
I just been chilling, staying at home, trying to keep busy.
Yeah,
like similar to what you've been doing. I've been drawing as well, but more just practicing like backgrounds and perspectives and things like that. The fundamentals.
Ooh, all right, like landscaping stuff.
Yeah,
nice.
And I've been playing video games as well.
Ooh, let us know your roster, man. What you been up to? What you been playing?
I went back to playing SnowRunner, which is just like a off-roading driving game.
Oh, is that what it is?
I mean, there's two. There's Mud Runner and Snow Runner. Snow Runner is the more recent game, but it's like you have like a plethora of vehicles, both off-road capable and not so off-road capable, but you do like simple jobs and tasks, and sometimes you get stuck in the mud, sometimes you get stuck in the snow. You gotta get yourself out so that way you can get your delivery out there on time.
Yeah, I get you. Oh, I remember. What else have you been playing?
That's mainly it. I played a little bit of Hollow Knight, and I played a little bit of Genshin.
Oh, okay. Nice. How you liking Hollow Knight? I hear that it's pretty hard game over here.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I've only played a little bit. Like I already defeated, I think, like the False Knight, which is like the first boss. And then I'm following Silk through like the jungle biome.
Ah, you've already met Silk then. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty good. You haven't been playing Minecraft? Like I've been playing Minecraft a lot.
Oh no, a little bit. I kind of took a break. I had to mourn the loss of my dogs.
I'm sorry, Jolin. I didn't think it would affect you that much.
Yeah. But I have been watching people play Minecraft, like the Epic SMP.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. What's going on with that?
Because there's so many like prominent people, both in the Minecraft community and just on YouTube, who are involved in Epic SMP.
Yeah.
Like Slimesicle, like Swagger Souls, J-Slat.
Swagger Souls is in there too? I haven't heard of
Yeah, Swagger Souls and J-Slat have like they like made a corporate union, so they run like their own business inside of there.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And it's pretty funny. And then like Ross from Game Grumps is part of it, Jaden Animations, the Super Mega Boys, Ethan from Crying Gameplays.
Oh my god, that's a huge list of people.
There's a lot of people. And there's people that I don't even know, and people that I was like, what? I didn't know they were involved in Minecraft, like Meat Canyon.
Oh my god, what? That's from the Epic SMP?
Yeah, like people just upload like highlight reels from other people who are part of the Epic SMP street server.
That's insane, man. I gotta check it out myself then. I never really paid attention to that because I was like, I'm not really into watching people play Minecraft as much aside from PewDiePie, but I prefer playing it myself, especially since I seem to progress a lot slower than I do. I progress slower than you do in my Minecraft world. I find things very hard.
What do you mean?
Like, I see you creating all these, like, rails and temples and like houses and churches and stuff, and I'm over here struggling to find freaking iron ore and diamond in my world, so it takes me forever to actually like build all the shit that I want to build. And
I see.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So I'm just like, I rather work on my world than go watch someone else play it. But after hearing the roster and hearing that a lot of people I like watching their videos are in it, I might check it out.
Yeah, but anyways, I think that's enough of that. We should actually get into the meat of the topic.
Yeah, definitely. Just one last thing. Potential future hint hint wink wink nudge Minecraft playthrough on our channel. Let us know if you guys are interested.
Yeah, if you guys are into that.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below, and hopefully in the future we might do that. Mm-hmm. So all right, let's get into meat of things, Jolene. What are we gonna talk about? What are we gonna shoot up first?
Should we do the culinary thing or the Wall Street thing?
Let's do the Wall Street thing because that's like new information for me as well in certain aspects.
All right. So for those of you who don't know what Wall Street Bets is or what's been going on in the stock market, or basically just been living under a rock, there's this Reddit group called Wall Street Bets, and to just summarize, just to simply put who they are, they're a bunch of people who are just tired of like these hedge fund corporate fat cats manipulating the stock market and having a financial gain over the rest of the common people. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of like things that I have to define in the beginning so that way people understand, so just bear with me, like and I'll get through the definitions first and then I'll tell you the story.
Well, first of all, I think the subreddit where all these people were meeting up, it wasn't initially created to, go against the man. It was literally just people, just collaborating and getting some information.
Yeah, they're just talking about stocks,
Yeah, they were just talking about stocks. And then once they saw, this whole scandal that we're going to talk about go under, that's when they were like, hey, maybe we actually do have some power and maybe we could influence, the world and the stock market.
Yeah, that's when they sprung into action.
Exactly. So let us know, Jonah, what's going on?
Okay, so the people at the top are called hedge fund managers, right? You could think of them as bosses, CEOs, people who loan money to investors, right?
Yeah.
And keep in mind, I'm not a professional. I'm not even educated. I just did a little bit of research. All right. So what I can be saying is completely wrong, but this is how I understood it.
This is all the information you could find online and educate yourself as well.
Yeah. So the problem with short squeezing is that you're promising about this price, or the problem with short squeezing is that you're basically hoping that this company is going to be more inflated than what you already think it's going to be, so that way you can buy at a cheaper price than what the stock is originally for, or it's originally estimated at.
Okay.
This whole short squeezing and manipulating the market, it's been going on for a while, or it's been going on for a long time, since the stock market actually started. It's not really talked about, and the stock market is by design it's complicated, and it's meant for the normal people, the normal Joe, to not understand what things mean, like P/E ratios, dividends, is short squeezing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not educated, you won't understand what it's about, and or when they hear how hard it is to get involved in the stock market, they
get intimidated.
Yeah, they get intimidated and they kind of back off. They're like, oh, I guess it's not for me.
Yeah, exactly. And that way it gives more power to those who do understand it to fully take advantage and continue making money off of it.
Yeah, so the problem that occurred this past week is that these hedge fund managers and these investment firms saw that GameStop wasn't doing that well. So they decided to, kind of inflate the price of GameStop, so that way when it came to actually report its earnings, or for the quarter to end, they would make a profit and GameStop would suffer because they would have to pay out, because GameStop is a company that does dividend and they have a set market cap on their stock prices and stuff, and GameStop would ultimately hurt, but these corporate people would win.
Yeah, they were pretty much reassuring that GameStop was going to go bankrupt. They were against GameStop. They were pretty much doing this, and they were hurting the company so that it would eventually lose so much money it wouldn't be able to recover.
Yeah, so this Reddit group, Wall Street Bets, saw this, or some of their members saw this, and they were like, we can't let this go. They're hurting this company that we like, or even they're basically stealing from the people, and all these self-righteous things that they were like, we can't let them win and stuff like that. So everyone on this Reddit took to their stock trading apps and bought a bunch of GameStop, along with other brands too, like AMC, Nokia, BlackBerry, Nakedly, Bed Bath & Beyond. A lot of these, but GameStop was the biggest.
Yeah.
Right? So when this first started, GameStop was around, $20?
Nah, even less. I had a free GameStop stock that I've been eyeing before this started, and the highest I ever saw it go was $7, $8. It kept fluctuating between $3 and $8, back and forth.
Oh, I see. So yeah, it was basically that. And when these Wall Street people were trying to short GameStop, it went up to $30 a share.
Yeah.
Which sounds really good, but they're obviously doing this for corporate gain. And then when Wall Street Bets signed up, overnight we saw GameStop go from 30 to almost 200.
Yep. In one night.
And then as the week, and this was on a Monday, and the market doesn't close until Friday. So I think on a Thursday or Wednesday, the highest we'd ever seen GameStop go was $417.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I remember these people on Wall Street are essentially borrowing GameStop stock on credit.
Yeah.
In layman's term, or just to simplify things, they're borrowing it on credit, and now that the price is 100 times more than what it originally was when they were going to sell out, they're gonna owe the market thousands, if not millions of dollars.
Yeah, so it's a huge hit on them, which of course they didn't like, and they started, taking it out on these people that were part of the Wall Street Bets group.
Yeah, and the Wall Street Bets people, obviously they bought the stock with cash in their accounts, so they're essentially everything from that point is just gain, minus like whatever they're gonna tax on. That's a whole separate issue.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Wall Street people, the Wall Street Bets people, basically took this as a win, and like we're saying, you can't do this anymore. Like, screw your insider trading stuff. But these apps and parts of the government were like, we can't let these people do this. So the big scandal was Robinhood postponed trading. Like, you can only sell GameStop and other various assets on the stock, and that got people like in an outrage because Robinhood's whole like slogan Robinhood is free trading.
Yeah, Robinhood's one of those apps that you could use to buy and trade stock. And it literally shows that, the stock market is a free market, so it shouldn't be controlled by an app or the government in general on whether you should be able to sell or trade your stock that you already bought yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So the Wall Street Bets people obviously like took action. Like, this is illegal, you can't do this. And Robinhood has since like reversed that. You can continue to trade GameStop and other various assets, but there's so many things that like people on Wall Street are trying to do to stop this, because I think recently there was a report that like one of the big conglomerates, like Melvin something, like his reported that they lost like over like $3 billion because of this.
Yeah, I heard about that, and it's like
a ridiculous amount of money.
And I myself like use Robinhood. Like, I'm not a huge like contributor to this whole stock market thing, and it wasn't like Robinhood completely took your stocks away or it took your money. It wasn't anything that illegal. But what I did see from people trying to sue Robinhood, or at least just complain towards them, was the fact that Robinhood took away GameStop stock as an option to buy. They were using the excuse that because so many people were buying out of nowhere with no real reason, that it was like they had to find the credibility of these people, like if they were really investors or if they were just like random people that were hurting the market. And that's what got people pissed off, because Robinhood can't do that. They can't take away a stock from their app without any warning or in general overall. And that's why like these people from God, I forgot. You
just say Reddit.
Yeah, these people from Reddit, this group, were pissed off, and they were actually even planning on suing Robinhood. And then at least, even if like they didn't really have a case, they were trying to take Robinhood off the App Store by giving it 1-star reviews and explaining why they're giving that 1-star review properly. And even then, that caused even more problems, because I think Google Play Store and then the Apple Store were like deleting the reviews to show that the app was still good, and that it would give an excuse to keep the app on the store, which again is also bad, because these are legitimate reasons why they are giving it a 1-star review. And that's what got the group on Reddit to be pissed off, not only on Robinhood, but also towards like Apple Store and Google Play Store.
Yeah, so it's a whole ugly mess. I mean, in one way, it's a whole ugly mess where like people are, up in arms and, trying to like, have somebody take the blame for. But at the other end, it's something that has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Like because it's like
people abusing the system.
Yeah, where people are abusing the system, and like us average citizens, like we're just supposed to like stand by and do nothing.
Yeah, like let them have their fun sort of thing.
Like,
but
the one time that we quote unquote like learn how to play the game, then all these other entities are like, no, you can't do it, it's illegal, when they've been doing it for like years.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a very childish point of view, where it's like a little kid is playing with a toy, they get bored of it, and they put it away, and then as soon as their mom wants to sell it to another kid, or another kid starts playing with it, that's when they get mad because it's their toy or something like that.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting story to follow. It's still currently ongoing. I don't know what's going to happen by the time this podcast comes out, and because we're recording on a Sunday, so the market opens tomorrow.
Yeah,
and then to a smaller extent, like there's another side story with Dogecoin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, where Dogecoin is like this meme cryptocurrency that has like the such wow Shiba Inu as their mascot.
They really do?
Yeah.
Oh, I never really noticed that.
Yeah, and for the longest time, Dogecoin was just a meme, like people would like buy and sell Doge, but its value for the longest time was like 1,000th of a cent. It's very, very small.
Yeah.
Like a $1, like before this all happened, I had Dogecoin when it was valued at like 0.0001.
Yeah.
And $1 was like almost 500 shares or 500 coins. So recently Dogecoin has like blown up. I think partially because of the Wall Street Bets group, but also because people in the Doge community are really pushing towards getting Dogecoin to like $1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and a lot of like celebrities and influencers, mainly Elon Musk, are also jumping on board with this idea. Like when Elon Musk tweeted about Doge, that night it went from 1 cent. Oh, the first time he tweeted about Doge, it went up to 1 cent.
Oh shit!
So imagine from 1,000th of a cent to 1 cent.
Yeah, that's a huge jump.
That's a lot. And then I think the second time he tweeted or somebody else talked about Doge, it went from 1 cent to the highest was like 8 cents.
Damn.
And literally people's lives changed. Like if you had bought in like $100 when it was like 1 cent, your money literally multiplied by like 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like like by 8% or something.
Yeah, and right now, Dogecoin, even though before, like you said, it was like 1,000. No, not even one. Yeah, like 1,000 of a cent. Right now, it's at 3 cents. So if you bought like $1, which was like 500 shares, it would have like increased amazingly. Just as soon as it hit like that 3 cent mark, like you could sell all your shares and make thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's gotten to the point where Dogecoin is like no longer actually like a meme currency. Like people still joke about it because it's such a small amount.
Yeah.
But there are legit like retailers and services that are now accepting Dogecoin.
Oh, really? They actually implemented it now?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't noticed that. That's crazy.
Like, it's becoming legit. So, I feel like right now, even if you have like $50 to spare, I feel like people should just buy Doge.
Yeah.
Because who knows? Like maybe it will reach $1, and then your $50 will be like 5,000.
Yep. Exactly.
Maybe it won't happen overnight. Maybe it'll happen within the course of a year. But literally, like aside from stocks, it's just something that just sits there and you just like can forget about it.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of the stock market. Most of the time, it's just a waiting game, just knowing when to sell, when to buy. And right now that it's cheap, it's a perfect time to buy and just keep it. Like maybe within a year, it always fluctuates. It always gets lower, but at the same time, it always goes up. So within a year or two, maybe even 5 years, you never know. It might actually reach that like 1 cent or even fucking 50-cent mark, and those $20 that you spent to get like 600 shares, you could literally get enough to fucking buy a car in those 5 years, sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Because in the beginning, I bet people thought like Bitcoin was a joke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember. Oh, God, that was such a long time ago. But I remember everyone was like, "No, don't trust cryptocurrencies. What is that? Like, there's no viable reason to buy that." And then now Bitcoin is like 30,000 per coin. It's crazy. Yeah. And going back to the whole GameStop stock, like just a little touch up on that, when the hedge funders were trying to like act against the Reddit group, or just pretty much take action against normal people messing with the market, the stock really did drop, and you could tell that like the government was trying to intervene, and it went from like I believe 430 to like 280 in one day. And that's when like everyone went into an outrage, like that's illegal, you can't do that sort of stuff, and they started like fighting back against their actions. And it apparently worked, because the next day the GameStop stock was up to like 360 again. So it's like, so it's not back to 440 or 430, but even then it shows that like the normal people are winning against the hedge funders and the big corporate people.
Yeah, and kind of just to like add like some final touches on the story before we move on.
Yeah. This
whole thing really shows like who's in it for corporate capital gain and who's actually in it for like the people, because a lot of politicians have like stepped up and said either, oh, this is fine what Robinhood and a lot of these other companies and districts are doing, and there are other politicians that like are saying, no, this is wrong.
Okay, I see.
Like I can't remember who sided with like Robinhood and the big corporate ones.
Yeah.
But on the side of like the people, the biggest name, which is not surprising, is AOC.
AOC?
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez.
Who's that?
I think she's like a senator, or she's a politician from New York.
Oh, okay.
She's the one that played like Among Us with a bunch of those Twitch streamers.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, AOC is like really down for the people. And surprisingly, like Ted Cruz was also on the side of the people, but I think it's because he has a lot to gain from this whole stock market thing. Yeah,
like he's trying to get a good image about himself.
Maybe after his whole like, well, I don't want to get into politics.
Yeah,
we'll stay away from that.
At least like, you know, most people that bought GameStop stock, like at least way back in the beginning, like way before, you know, drama started, before a whole like, you know, political views started getting involved, and like, you know, rumors of a lawsuit and all this other stuff. At least the people in the Reddit group, they were buying GameStop stock just because they noticed that, you know, the stock was so low that it was hurting the company, and they were pretty much, you know, spreading the word just because they like GameStop. They were like, dude, like, guys, we grew up with GameStop. It's still a great company to buy games. You know, I love this place. Let's not let it die, because, you know, it's just, it's so integral to, you know, the gamer community of sorts. Yeah. And they were literally just buying games, like myself. Like, I didn't buy a stock, but I did have one for free because Robinhood has this whole plan. And I kept the stock, even if it was really low, because I myself really like GameStop. Like, I'm a promoter for GameStop, like a supporter, not promoter, sorry. And that's what these people in the Reddit group were doing at first. They were like, oh, we got to save GameStop just so that it doesn't go under. Let's just buy it, and hopefully we could help even in a minuscule way. And then once, you know, they spread the word to the Reddit group, that's when more people started buying it, and then that's when the stock started going up, and then that's when all this drama started happening. So it's like, at least it goes to show that, you know, it started from a good place, you know, from true gamers trying to save a company that helped them out, or at least get good memories and experiences in their lives. And then it later turned into this whole drama stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, GameStop is an integral part of being a gamer. Yeah. You know, coming from like the late 90s. Well, like, yeah, because, I don't know, from the late 90s to now. Yeah. But the landscape of gaming has changed so much with like Steam and digital copies and, you know, free to play services.
Yeah, I mean, it literally goes to show when like, you know, the big companies that release the consoles, like Sony and Microsoft, they specifically release a digital console. It's much cheaper, but it's like they could tell that more people are buying digital games rather than physical copies. And yeah, a company like GameStop, their physical copies were their bread and butter. So if you take that away from them, it's like, what else do they have to sell? So that's why people were buying stocks, and GameStop themselves have like decided to, you know, get a new CEO with a vision on improving the image of GameStop, where they don't focus too much on physical copy games, but also like on consoles themselves, like you know, accessories for consoles, the consoles itself, and also just like figurines and other stuff that actually makes a profit, because they themselves,
just like nerd culture stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, like they themselves can see that, you know, the community of gaming is going through a change right now, and they just want to make sure that they're still alive for the future.
I will say though, I don't remember ever having like a really good time or a good experience at a GameStop.
Yeah, I feel like we touched upon this in the previous podcast.
It was always just like a mediocre experience where like they were reluctant to actually help you out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was always excited to just get the game.
See, and that was a difference, but like at the same time, like I know exactly the experience you're talking about, because there was one specific store I liked going to that always gave me the same experience, and it was boring, lackluster, not memorable, and if anything, sometimes they were like rude or it was a negative experience. But then I started going to another store that opened up closer to my house, and that store was completely different. And because of that store, that's when it changed my whole view on the GameStop itself. I was like, you know what? Maybe they aren't as bad as I thought. Maybe I was just having bad experiences. And I was right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. It's just, it all depends also on like the employees themselves, you know? It's not always just the solid one opinion is the same for all stores sort of thing.
But just to wrap this up, remember this is an ongoing story. Things might change. I am in no way an expert in what I just talked about, so do your research. Don't take what I say at like full face value.
Yeah.
I could get my facts wrong. I am but a man.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you got to do your own research and come up with your own opinion and to see who's right, who's wrong, and hopefully things turn out well in the end.
Yeah, maybe in the future if we ever cover like another story like this,
yeah,
we'll do more research and we'll have like live fact checking and stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about this. It's very interesting, unprecedented.
Yeah, definitely. Go check it out if you're interested in this topic. You know, research it yourself and see what new turns this story has taken. And then, you know, let us know in the comments what do you think about GameStop itself. And then once you do your research or learn more of the story, let us know what you think of what's going on and all this drama.
Yeah, and buy Dogecoin.
Yeah, buy Dogecoin.
Yeah.
All right, so
maybe we'll probably take like a quick break. And then,
okay, cool.
We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. And we're back, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking through with that. For our Spotify listeners and for our YouTube listeners, hey, how you doing? You know, we missed you. I know you didn't miss us because we were back pretty quickly. But hey, hope you're enjoying this. So, Jolene, what do we got for these beautiful people over here? What's our next topic?
I was thinking about talking about just, you know, this idea that I have when it comes to thinking about the culinary world.
Yeah.
About how there's this like elitist attitude when it comes to like using subpar ingredients or more humble ingredients.
Or even just layman's term like common ingredients.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean it's something that I always thought about in the back of my mind. Because, you know, we don't our cultures, you know, the Latino culture and like for me the Filipino culture,
yeah,
you know, we're not known for having like top of the line world class food.
Yeah, we're not like 5-star French food or something like that.
Exactly. Like a lot of our dishes and ingredients, they come from like humble beginnings.
Yeah.
You know, and as such they use humble ingredients. So I remember seeing like a post that someone made like, oh, this is like basically spilling the tea when it comes to these ingredients. Like, oh, if you use these ingredients, like you're not a good cook, or like you should change or something, you know?
Or like you shouldn't ever consider yourself a chef if you use these ingredients, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to like say it so harshly, but pretty much that's
that's what
the post was implying.
Yeah, that's how they said it, of sorts.
Yeah. And some of the ingredients that they had in this post was like that instant Parmesan from that Crafts make, like frozen vegetables.
Frozen vegetables? They were giving shit to frozen vegetables?
Yeah, like stuff that you can just use on the ready.
Bro, what? Oh my, okay, go on.
I mean, okay, I added the frozen vegetables. I don't remember if it was in there, because for a long time I felt like frozen vegetables were just like a cop-out, that they're like, oh, if you can buy frozen, you can just buy, like, the regular ones are better for you, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's like at least now we've learned so much about, you know, freezing stuff like fruits and vegetables that if anything, from the opinion I formed because of the information I received, I think freezing vegetables and fruits are even better than quote unquote fresh fruit and vegetables.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we'll get into that, because
exactly.
I thought that for the longest time.
Yeah.
But then it's like you see these kitchens whether they're commercial kitchens or just like a kitchen that somebody made themselves, and it's like they have marble countertops and it looks like something out of like an IKEA catalog.
Yeah.
And that's like what everyone strives for. It's like, oh, if my kitchen doesn't look like this, like I can't say I'm a real chef, or I'm like subpar in some way.
Yeah.
And it's like, I hate that idea that like people build when cooking is like one of the most like basic human things that we've done. Cooking is like literally what separates us from just being like cavemen or walking out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it incorporates so many aspects of like the human mind, where it's like your imagination, your creativity. It's like a great way to express yourself, and it's like to be limited not only just by like the ingredients but just on technique as well. It's very very insulting, if anything.
That whole adding the bougie aesthetic, that's just also my take. But what the post said was just like, these ingredients or these items that you use like are basically like no-nos in a professional kitchen. And it's like, okay, fair, but most people aren't cooking in professional kitchens.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what kind of got me. Oh, it was that like, when people buy like already squeezed lemon and lime juice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was that.
See, okay, so for the longest time, I didn't know that pre-squeezed lemon juice was a real thing. Like, I always thought those bottles had like fake synthetic lemon juice. And that's because, growing up in a Latino household, my mom would always buy that pre-squeezed lemon juice, but it was fake. It was synthetic. It was like water mixed in with like, acids,
like citric acid.
Exactly, yeah. So it gave the illusion that it was lemon, but if you tasted it by itself, you could tell that it was like off. It didn't give the proper flavors that the lemon gives, or lime even. And you were just like, what the hell is this thing? And for the longest time, I always like, nah, if I'm gonna get some like lemon in my food, I'm gonna squeeze it myself from like actual lemons. And then I found this bottle one day that was like pre-squeezed. It actually had that on the label, like pre-squeezed lemon juice, and I thought it was the synthetic stuff. And I actually tried it, and it was actually really good and actually tasted like real lemons. And that's when I noticed that the previous bottles that I always used to buy actually said pre-squeezed synthetic lemon or flavorings or something like that. Like I never really paid attention to the labels when I was young. When I was young. And that's what, changed my opinion of the whole pre-squeezed bottle stuff, where I realized like it's fine. I don't see anything wrong with it as long as you get the actual real stuff.
Yeah.
But what's your take on this, Jolin? What's your take on the whole if you use these specific ingredients, you can't call yourself a chef sort of thing?
I think that's like that's complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I understand why the post is there. Like, first of all, it's just to like, just dog on people who think they're real chefs, but they use these ingredients, so haha, you're not a real chef.
Yeah.
But second of all, like, if you're going to a restaurant, like, you expect that they're going to use the real stuff because you're paying for the real stuff.
Uh-huh.
Whether you like know it or not. I'm not expecting like when I go to Papa John's or Domino's or whatever. Papa John's, Domino, you better pay me money for this. I'm not expecting when I go and get pizza that they're gonna give me like actual Parmesan cheese that they grated that morning and put into those tiny packages.
Yeah, from like fucking Italy or some shit, like Parmigiano Reggiano or some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting to put like high quality stuff. Like, I know what I'm buying. And it's not a premium. Like, like most people are not buying stuff for the premium. Literally, I think like a good handful of people are just buying stuff so they're like surviving, or they just want a little bit of, enhancement in their dishes.
Yeah.
Because like the example that I gave you earlier when we were kind of brainstorming about what to talk about, it's like, why would you go and buy like a $20 slice of cheese so that way you can use in your dish one time and let it sit in your refrigerator, get all hard and nasty, maybe even mold, and you have to like ultimately throw it away, when you can just buy like the quote unquote cheap stuff and you can use it whenever you want?
Yeah, it lasts. It's made to last.
Like, sure, it's not the real thing. Maybe it's like just flavored that way, but doesn't matter.
It's still it's still good. Like, it doesn't make you less of a chef or even less of a home cook just because you decide to use stuff that, you know, other people consider bad, you know. And I think that's the main point, or the main problem I see with that post, where it's like, yeah, okay, if you're in a culinary kitchen, like high-end culinary kitchen, and you're saying that those ingredients are no-nos to use in that kitchen, okay, I'll give you that. That's you know, that's based on the kitchen itself. Like, maybe the kitchen has those specific rules for themselves, but to post it on social media, and then, you know, it gives the implication that you're trying to undermine all these other people that are either chefs themselves and they do use that stuff in their kitchen, or even just home cooks that they'll never be a chef, or they can't consider themselves a chef in their own house just because they use these ingredients. And it's kind of insulting in that way, because most people can't afford, like you said, you know, it's not worth paying $20 for a slice of cheese till you only use once, whereas, you know, the pre-graded stuff will last you much longer, and it's way more worth your money. Because at the same time, it's like, if you're working in, like, if you're a home cook, you're gonna buy the stuff that lasts you a long time, and that gives you more bang for your buck, because you're cooking not only for yourself, but like for a family. And, you know, the ingenuity and the imagination you have to put in every dish so it turns out good and it satisfies, you know, a range of tastes. And pretty much what I was getting at is it's in order to satisfy all the picky eaters in your family. You know, it's like you have to make a dish every single day to satisfy all those picky eaters. And to tell that home cook that she can never call herself a chef, even though she's been cooking, or he's been cooking their entire life for their family, that's very insulting. And if a professional chef uses that stuff in his kitchen, it's like, it's his choice. Like, or her choice to use it in their kitchen. It's like, you shouldn't be posting this stuff on social media to try and undermine your other people's like success, or even like their challenges that they've gone through their lives to become who they are now, just because you think you're a chef, or you think you're a professional, just because your kitchen, or your you know, the place where you work at uses like super expensive ingredients that not everyone can get their hands on. That's where I was going with it.
Yeah. And I think I think posts like that bother me.
Yeah.
Because it takes away from, you know, just like, some people really don't care what their ingredients are, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're living on a budget, and they just want something that tastes good.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like, making a post like that kind of undermines your skills as a chef if you call yourself a chef. Because, like, yeah, I understand that fresher ingredients, or like, you know, higher quality ingredients will always produce a better product. But that doesn't mean that, like, you have to exclude these cheap or quote unquote bad ingredients from your life. Because if you do that, that just shows that you're not versatile. You don't have the experience to turn those quote unquote bad ingredients into something good. You know, that means that it shows your lack of innovation and your technique as a chef to make something good out of what you think is bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially like the tools don't make the mechanic, or like the ingredients don't make the chef. It's what you can do with them.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, you can have like the best knives, you can have like the best wrenches, drills, or whatever, but like, if you've only started cooking, or you only know how to do one type of thing, like, you can't dog on somebody that has been cooking for years, or has been working for years, and they use these quote unquote like non-acceptable ingredients.
Yeah.
I have like a very I think it's a weird passion for cooking / like the culinary world.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm not involved in the culinary world. Like, I would consider myself a home cook, because I've never cooked in a professional setting.
Yeah.
But I feel like stories, like posts like that, and stories where, you know, somebody like that person, I think like in Indonesia or something, that he has like a soup cart, and his soup cart is like a 1 Michelin star cart.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, like stories like that get me because I'm like, these people have like mastered a craft.
Yep.
And, you know, like, sure, they're not cooking in the best settings, like maybe their ingredients aren't the best, but it's like they're recognized because they literally put in like their 10,000 hours, and they're a master, they're a chef.
Yeah, they were able to turn that something that was basic and common in their household, or at least their lives, and turn it and perfect it and you know, chisel out all the imperfections to turn it into something that was, you know, worldwide recognition of sorts.
Yeah. And like, if you do have the means to go out and get these fancy ingredients, sure, like, all the power to you. Like, you can do that. But just, I don't know, don't dog on people who don't have the means to go out and get the best stuff. And that, like, it's something that we mentioned earlier about frozen vegetables. Like, for the longest time, I had this stigma that frozen vegetables were, like, cheap. They were, like, just, you know, the rejects, or they're, like, not worth eating because literally, like, all the vitamins and nutrients in these frozen vegetables have, like, decayed. When in actually, it's, like, the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, these vegetables were picked when they were fresh, and then they're frozen when they're fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you... Versus, you know, you can pick some, like... Granted, like, some items taste better when they're fresh versus others, but like I used to hate, like, the mixed vegetable package, the one that has, like, peas and corn and carrots.
Yeah.
But it has a place in your kitchen. Like, obviously, I don't like frozen spinach, because spinach is, like, one of those items that, like, it tastes better when it's fresh.
Yeah.
But if you're going to just, you know, cook it either way, like, not eat it fresh, then... Like, it doesn't matter whether it was fresh or frozen.
Yeah, because at least when it comes to that topic, I have learned throughout the years, because I also thought the same way. I also thought that, like, if you got frozen fruit or vegetables, it was always, like, the cheaper option, or, like, these vegetables were about to go bad, and in order to stop them from going bad, the company would just freeze them and then sell to the public like that. Like, you had to eat it as soon as you cooked them, or else they would go bad much sooner. And then later on throughout my life, I learned that that's, like you said, the opposite. Because unless you have your own garden growing these exact vegetables, like, right outside your door, and you could pick them that fresh and use them right away, you're honestly better at buying the frozen stuff, because these frozen vegetables and fruits were picked right at the perfect time, and then they were flash frozen, so all the nutrients and flavors were, like, you know, captured in that bag. Whereas you go to a market and you get that quote unquote frozen fresh stuff, like fresh vegetables and fruits, that was still frozen in a way, like not like hard ice frozen, but it was still kept in, like, a, you know, super chilled cooler. And then it was transported to the market, and then in the market they leave it out in there so you could go and pick out your fresh stuff. And in that whole time where it's been handled and transported and moved about, it's lost so much nutrients and in all its freshness, to the point where you're better off just getting the frozen stuff. And like I said, the only way to get, like, the best fresh ingredients would be if you were to grow them yourself.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, it's not viable to, like, you physically can't have some fruits and vegetables. Like, you can't have strawberries in the winter.
Exactly. They just,
and, like,
don't grow.
People don't want to eat fermented strawberries or pickled strawberries. I know that's a thing, but it's not a widely available thing, you know?
That's a thing? Like, pickled strawberries?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so cool. I gotta look into that.
I think it's like a Scandinavian thing.
Yo, I wonder how they taste. That sounds interesting.
I know, right? But yeah, like, if you want strawberries in the winter, frozen strawberries.
Yeah, exactly.
It's, and like, the best way to keep them.
That's what gives us the options to go to the market and pick out of season fruits and vegetables, because they were frozen, you know?
Yeah. So I don't know. This whole, like, elitist attitude when it comes to foods and foods, it's very weird. I'm very passionate about it for some reason.
Uh-huh.
When in most other things, like, I honestly don't care.
But it's understandable.
It doesn't affect
where
me.
Your passion's coming from, though, because like, you know, if I were to compare myself to you, you have years of experience over me when it comes to being a home cook, because you've been, like, cooking for your family since I've met you, since back in, like, middle school. So, you know, yeah. I think
I started cooking my own dishes when I was, like, 12.
See, there you go.
And I'm 25 right now.
Yeah, see, you have so many years. Yeah, and it's like, I myself didn't start cooking or learning, like, how to cook until I was in, like, freshman year in high school. Like, I knew how to prepare, like, eggs and the simple stuff, you know, that everyone should know how to do. but to actually make dishes, prepare dishes, or at least create something that I was like happy to serve to my family for dinner, I didn't start doing that until I was in like 9th grade. And even now, even though I'm not like in charge of preparing dinner for the family, I still only cook for myself. Therefore, I feel like you have way more experience than me when it comes to being able to prepare like a full, family dinner. And it shows just from like the stories you've told me when it comes to like Thanksgiving, or even just on a daily basis where you're like, going out to the market to buy chicken and you're planning on serving the specific dish. It's like, I don't do that because whenever I go to the market to buy ingredients, it's always just for myself. So I always have to plan on cooking for one person. And that alone is just like I understand your passion towards this like issue just because you have this experience and you yourself are a home cook, even if you don't want to call yourself that, or even if you don't want to say you have like chef capabilities. I personally believe you do, and being very passionate about this issue it's very understanding.
That would be like, this is it's a different topic but related to what we're talking about, because we do have like a couple friends who are in culinary school or are chefs. Yeah. Right? So once the pandemic is over and we can like meet in person and stuff, that would be an interesting video where like we cook something that we're both like feel like we're capable at doing, and we have like a head-to-head like chef / like chef in training versus home cook.
Ooh, okay, I see what you're going
like
with.
I know it's been done before, but I kind of want to see how I would stack up compared to like someone who does have formal culinary training.
Oh, hell yes! And if I could be the judge, that would be so perfect. Like, well, one of the judges.
We would have to get like 2 other people who don't know me or who have never tried my food.
That they're unbiased.
Yeah,
that would be great. I would love to do that sort of video. Let us know in the comments if you would be interested in doing something like that, or being one of our chefs, or one of our judges, or even if you just want to see us do that sort of stuff.
Right? Because I feel like if I went to culinary school, I would obviously be like a way better cook. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I think culinary school only teaches you like the fundamentals, like different types of cuts and how to like do this and do that. Like they don't really teach you how to cook.
Yeah, like they just teach you how to prepare stuff, and it's up to you to, perfect it and make it your own craft.
Yeah, like what they teach you is like what high class, like high society dining expects you to know.
Yeah, that's what I think
like
too.
How to make, like, because a lot of things you can learn. Like everyone's so impressed by like these like quote unquote caviars that people make.
Yeah. Oh, like the raspberry caviar or something like that.
Yeah, but it's literally like a puree or a juice of that mixed in with gelatin, and you just pour like little droplets into cold ass oil.
Yeah.
So that way it doesn't mix with the water, and there you go. It's caviar, and I'm like, dude, anyone can really like most of these techniques you can do. At home.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone can do it.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting. I just thought of that video idea, and I'm like, I wonder if they'd be down.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I'd be down for that myself.
And I said something mutual because obviously if we do like an Asian dish and the other person is not Asian, I feel like I would have the upper hand because I have an understanding of Asian ingredients. Ah,
okay, I get you. I see.
Like if we were to cook and then someone said, "Oh, make like a I don't know, like a General Tso's chicken." Right? Like we've all eaten General Tso's chicken.
Yeah.
But there might be something that like you miss, like ginger, because you never cook with ginger.
Yeah, exactly.
And that it's like that ingredient that everyone's like, nope, it's missing this, and you're like, I don't know what it's missing. And I'm like, bruh, it's ginger.
Yeah, exactly. Like you definitely have the upper hand in that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. And that'd be fun though.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can do post quarantine, post COVID.
Yeah, once we're able to hang out in person again, and we'll see what we could come up with.
Yeah, but that's all I have to say about that. Just this elitist attitude. It's not necessary. Like everyone's just trying to cook. Everyone's just trying to have fun. Unless it's your job, then that's a different story.
Exactly, and I feel like that was the point I was trying to make, where it's like, if your kitchen, has those rules, and that's perfectly fine, but it's like you should keep those rules in your kitchen. You shouldn't try to, enforce them on other people by making a post or a story like that, because that's like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, good talk. That's all I really have to say. That's all we really came up with.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm happy.
Yeah, so let us know what you think. Have you been following the Wall Street Bets story? Do you have stock in GameStop? Are you going to buy Dogecoin, like I said? Are you part of this elitist community of home cooks, chefs, sous chefs, whatever you want to call yourself?
Yeah.
Do you have this mindset? Do you agree that, like, no basic ingredients, like, can go fuck off, or, there's a place for these things?
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you have any questions. What's your position, like Victor said. If there's anything else you want us to talk about, we're always open to suggestions. We love hearing from you all. Don't forget to comment. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Mm-hmm. If you're on Anchor.fm or Spotify, you can hit that follow, hit that like, so that way you know what we're doing. We have social medias. We don't post very often, but we're getting to that.
Yeah, we try our best.
And Victor, you got anything else to add?
Nah, just stay safe out there, everybody, and thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, bye everybody.
Stay beautiful.